Hello, guys. Today we are going to be checking out some new campaign trail. This is one of my favorite browser games. I really like to play it, and I figured I would share it with the channel. Um, Now, a few points before we start. First of all, the Pirates series um, that will be continued next week when that comes around. Because guess what? I got a new microphone. So I don't want to record it with this horrible microphone that I'm talking with currently. So I'm going to wait till I get a new microphone and then I'm going to record it, which is going to be nice. So there's going to be some filler content, some filler episodes going up. This is one of them, unfortunately. There's a few others. You'll see them when they come out. But yeah. So the Sid Meier's Pirates series, that's going to be continuing next week. We're going to play the new campaign trail today. I already decided that we're going to do the election of 1844. President Tyler has defined the key issue of this election with the proposed annexation of Texas. James K. Polk, the Democrat, gained the nomination by favoring this measure. Henry Clay, the Whig, has made more latitude. The Liberty Party lurks as an abolitionist third party and will pressure the Whigs. Conversely, John Tyler hopes to use the Texas issue to energize an independent campaign. If Polk wavers, other campaign issues are tariffs, internal improvements, and the banking system. So yeah, we're going to be playing as Henry Clay, very famous. He's a Whig from the state of Kentucky. Henry Clay runs in a presidential election for the third time and begins as the favorite against Polk. He must quickly define a position on Texas. It will be difficult to do so without alienating some block of Whigs. Yeah, that's true. At this time, the Whigs are quite divided on the issue of Texas annexation. Clay would prefer to keep slavery and expansion on the back burner and advance his own issues like tariffs, internal improvements, and a national currency. Yeah, that's true. Can he find redemptions from his political defeats to Andrew Jackson and finally break into the White House? Well, that's what we're going to try and do today. We're going to try and win as Henry Clay, which is kind of the rite of passage in this community. Is you gotta you gotta win 1844 as Henry Clay before you can call yourself a new campaign trailer, so to speak. So now we're going to select our running mate. So first we have Theodore Frelinghuysen. He's a Whig from New Jersey. Okay. Theodore Frelinghuysen has served as a senator from New Jersey and as mayor of Newark. He is known as something of an evangelist, being involved in numerous Bible societies and advocating for moral uplift. All right. Associates of Frelinghuysen have voiced anti-Catholic sympathies, however. That's not good, especially in swing states where there's a lot of Catholics. His selection would help with nativists, but would exacerbate the Whigs' problems with the Catholic vote. Southerners with a long memory also recall his loud opposition to the Indian Removal Act. I don't think that matters that much this election. Other running mates that we have are John Sargent. Yeah, we're not going to pick him. He's kind of out of his prime in this election. Uh, he's like in retirement right now, so I don't think we're gonna pick him. And Millard Fillmore, I don't think we're gonna pick him either. It says he was an influential congressman. We already are that, so we don't need an influential congressman on our side. So I think we're gonna go with Frelinghuysen despite his faults. New Jersey is also a pretty important swing state this election. We're gonna play on normal, winner take all. Okay, Martin Van Buren, Democrat and president until 1841, will be making a tour of the country to visit various friends and political figures. Will you extend the invitation for him to stay at your estate for a few days? This would be a strictly personal invite. We are friends. Might blunt some opposition to my candidacy in New York. It might be best if I don't appear friendly to leading Democrats, especially one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the bottom one. Martin Van Buren basically founded the Democratic Party, and he's really unpopular. I don't think we should. I don't think we should be doing stuff with him. Word makes its way to New York that you had Van Buren in your own hometown and did not extend an invitation to him. Whatever. What points will you emphasize in your acceptance letter as you accept the Whig nomination for president? Um, yeah, I think we're gonna do so. The way that I want to handle this campaign is I kind of want to do what Henry Clay did historically, but a little bit better. So we're going to basically put Texas on the back burner as much as possible. We're still going to affirm it. We're still gonna, you know, agree with Texas annexation, but we're going to keep it on the back burner. So, yeah, we're going to avoid any mention of Texas, and we're going to elucidate our economic principles, national bank tariff, and internal improvements. The worst of all worlds is to equivocate on such a central issue of the times. People of all persuasions doubt your motivations, while the Democrats are making hay with the issue. Okay, so maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do, was to equivocate on that. Okay. What position will we take on annexation? We're going to support it. So this is kind of ahistorical. Um, Henry Clay opposed the annexation of Texas. I'm going to be real with you. If we want to win this election, we kind of have to support it. There's no way around it. Most people want Texas annexed. So yeah, we will support the annexation of Texas. This is unfortunately one of those issues where no matter how many times you repeat yourself, people will continue to press you. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but whatever. The background of your running mate, Frayleen Heisen, has caused much distress among Catholics of the country. Will you make any statements? Oh, heck no. This is one of those things where we just zip it up and we continue onward. We don't want to, yeah, no, just quiet about it. What should your party's position on the tariff of 1824 be, which increased tariffs? Heck yeah, this was a really big accomplishment that the Whigs were able to do, and yeah, it's one of the few positive accomplishments of Mr. Tyler's so-called presidency. Yeah, we're going to support the tariff. Do you believe that some revenue should be set aside from our tariffs to finance internal improvements, such as canals and roads? Yeah, this is one of the key objects of our current tariff policy. I would support a strong infrastructure program as president. Yeah, we're Henry Clay. We literally invented this stuff, so yes, we support it. Do you support an amendment that would limit the president to a single term in office? You know what? Yeah, let's agree to that. This is in line with the opinion of many Whigs. Yeah, that's true. There was very serious talk of an amendment like that happening, limiting the president to one term. Um, Honestly, I kind of wish that it had happened, but I wish that it also extended the president's term to 6 years instead of 4, because then you could make senators serve for 9 years and representatives for 3. So we'd have an election every 3 years instead of every 2 years, which is what they do down in Mexico, I should add. I think that would have been a lot, a lot better than the current system we have, because House elections every 2 years is kind of not good. Let me word it that way. What is your current position on the banking system? Um, Yeah, I stand for a national bank broadly similar to the second bank. Yeah, that's true. We're Henry Clay. We got to support that. Uh, we can't say anything else basically. Does it make sense to attack Northern Democrats as enablers and fellow travelers of the Southern slavery expansion? Well, we can't do that because we're not opposed to Texas, so we don't want to flip flop. So we're gonna have to go with this bottom one. We should attack Northern Democrats in their opposition to or flip flopping on the issues of tariffs and internal improvements. They are soft ground on that debate. Yes, that is true. A lot of Northern Democrats did support tariffs and internal improvements and things like that. So they are very much soft ground. Yeah, this is probably your best stance vis-a-vis the northern wing of the Democratic Party. Is there something you can do to give the Southern Whigs political cover from the incessant attacks that they are in league with an anti-slavery party? Oh, heck no. We're opposed to radicalism from any region, and that includes anti-slavery radicalism. The Whig Party is a national party, the national program that will benefit all regions equally. Yeah, that's something we need to do. Um, like we are not the anti-slavery person in this election. That's James Bierny with the Liberty Party. That's not us. So we need to distance ourselves from that. This is a good point to emphasize, especially if you don't support Texas annexation. Well, we do support it, so I mean, I guess we didn't lose there. We didn't like contradict ourselves or anything. There have recently been riots and armed clashes between nativists and Irish immigrants in Philadelphia and elsewhere. Do you have any plans to condemn the Irish violence in these episodes? Um, should we avoid making statements on the issue? Because we don't want to condemn the lawlessness of the new arrivals. That doesn't sound very good. I think we'll do this. I think we'll go in the middle ground and support our current laws. This could cost you some nativist support, but that wing is hopefully concentrated in states that aren't close. Okay. Do you still support the idea that the federal government should purchase the telegraph patent and manage the technology? Yeah, that was one of the weird beliefs Henry Clay had. Um, yeah, let's not make any divisive statements. I mean, that's like this is almost like socialist is what he's proposing. Good old socialism. So yeah, we're going to avoid making any statements on that issue. Um, yeah, he shouldn't have said that. That was kind of a blunder on his part. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this response. Yeah, don't add fuel to the fire. Uh, Cassius Clay, which by the way, if you didn't know, Muhammad Ali, his full name is Cassius Marcellus Clay, and that's based off Henry Clay's cousin, this Cassius Clay, who's also called Cassius Marcellus Clay. The more you know. So, Cassius Clay, your cousin, has published a letter stating you're in accord with the abolitionist movement. Oh, heck no, we got to attack these. Unfortunately, in 1844, the term abolition and abolitionist is very much a slur. So yeah, we got to attack this. Yeah, I am no way an abolitionist in this debate. That is, yeah, that's why we chose the other decision earlier about the whole, anti-slavery radicalism. Like we are not we're not this in this debate, okay? Yeah, this is obviously more popular position in certain regions. Yeah, whatever. Do you plan on making attacks against the Liberty Party? Heck no. Yeah, don't ever talk about third parties. If you're a politician, don't even acknowledge that third parties exist because it only publicizes the group. Just stick to our own campaign. Let's leave it at that. Was there really a bargain, a corrupt bargain to many, between yourself and John Quincy Adams, which elevated him to the presidency in 1825? Yeah, there's only one choice on here. That's unfortunate. Some attacks never lose their luster. That is so true. Um, there are a number of attacks which focus on your fondness for horse racing, drinking, gambling, female conversation, and the like. Do you have a response to this? Um, I've undertaken the amusements of our times, perhaps a little more than most, but it's never had any bearing on the work that I've done. In anticipation of this attack, I've made some efforts in the past year to scale back my amusements. I don't think it's ever too late for a man to change their conduct. We're not going to do this last one because that makes it sound like this was a problem and now we're correcting it. So that's not good. So it's one of these two. Um, I don't like that line, perhaps a little more than most. That kind of makes us sound out of control. And especially specifying, no, it's never had any bearing on the work I've done. I think we're going to go with this middle one. There's a lot of places in America where men like that kind of thing. Will win the Yankee Puritan vote in any case. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's our best option there. Talk of personal foibles is probably just sound and fury in this election. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Aside from the issue of Texas, do you support the expansion of the United States in general into Oregon or other parts of Mexico and Cuba? Um, yeah, we believe in manifest destiny. This is a little bit ahistorical, but I mean, hey, manifest destiny is popular. Do you support lifting the gag rule in Congress? Heck no. The gag rule was one of those. I'm not going to get into it because it's kind of a little complicated, but yeah, it was very divisive back in the day, and we are not going to touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. Silence may be the best course. Yeah, just like I said, it was very divisive. Not even going to. Just don't. Just don't. After the unfortunate death of Abel Upshur in the Princeton explosion, John Calhoun succeeded him as Secretary of State. Was this a wise appointment by President Tyler? Yeah, we're not going to comment. Um, Cabinet appointments back in the day kind of didn't matter. I mean, even in like an opposition Congress, they would still get, unanimously supported. So I don't think we want to make this a political issue, especially against someone like John Calhoun who has significant influence. Yeah, it's probably your best option. Yeah, just don't talk about it. Um, what is your position on the Oregon boundary question? Heck yeah, 44-40 or fight. Come on, I want the War of 1812 Part 2, baby. We're going to annex Canada. This is a good way to rally Northern support. Heck yeah, it is. Would you sign a law that lowered tariffs? Nope, that's a veto. Nope, lowering tariffs is not something Henry Clay does. This is in line with the opinion of many Whigs. Yep. Do you have any criticism of the authorities in Illinois regarding their failure to properly protect Joseph Smith before his assassination in June? Heck no. Mormons at this point are deeply, deeply controversial. Um, and I don't want to come out as supporting uh, Joseph Smith, especially when allegations that people are secret Mormons are going around everywhere and such. Yeah, no, we're not going to address this. We're not going to deal with this at all. Yeah. Do you support any effort to establish a unified national currency? Yep. Support a national bank. And that's true. Ever since the national bank was gone, there's been a ton of chaos in the currency. So yes, we need to support that, and we also said that in our the letter that we wrote, the acceptance letter. Regardless of your personal feelings, would you sign an act which would establish an independent treasury for the government's funds? Um, should we go with this? No, we need to be somewhat compromising. I mean, the Whigs are a big tent. I'm sure there's some Whigs that support an independent treasury. Of course, a lot of Democrats support independent treasury. Um, so I think we would prefer a national bank, but we'd create an independent treasury. That sounds about right. Okay, now let's check the map and see how good we're doing. Ooh, okay. Yeah, electoral vote right now. Dang, we're losing. Um, okay, we need to do this in New York. Yeah, that did not look good. I don't think we're gonna win. That did not look very good. So these go pretty slow, just kind of like actual real elections. Of course, South Carolina came in first. South Carolina is the only state that historically did not have a popular vote. They just picked who they wanted to be for president, and that was that. Um, Man, I hope we get lucky and we win. Well, we won North Carolina. That's a good swing state that we want to win. We lost Pennsylvania. That just made our path much, much harder. Much, much harder. We won New Jersey, though. That's really good. Everything lies on New York. If we win New York, we're probably going to win the election. Um, oh, it's neck and neck. I'm actually winning the popular vote. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, 64% in. We're still winning the popular vote. And it's neck and neck. Oh, it's neck. It's all down to New York. It's all down to New York right now. Oh man, this is giving me some anxiety. I hope we win it. I hope we win it. Oh, come on. Come on, we're winning the popular vote. Let us win New York. Let us win New York. Come on. Come on. I just want to win New York. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh, this anticipation. Dang it, we lost. Oh, we lost. How much did we lose by? We lost by 0.1%. We won the popular vote. We won the popular vote and we lost. Oh, let's go to final results. He's going to go through with the annexation of Texas. You can only hope it doesn't lead to war. Even if the U.S. is successful in the short term, the acquisition of such territory is sure to reopen the slavery question in a way which may hurt the Whigs. As for your own fortunes, you have likely missed your last chance to become president. How will your legacy be remembered? Fondly. I mean, look at that. I won the popular vote by 2,000 votes. Oh man. Let's check on New York. He's lost by 300 votes. Third party vote splitting. Stupid James Bierny. Why'd you have to split the vote? Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so here's the historical election. So we did much better than Henry Clay did historically. I mean, heck, we even won the popular vote for crying out loud. Um, Granted, we only won it by like a few points. Some further reading. Yeah, feel free to read these resources. These are pretty good. I'll tell you a bit more about Henry Clay, James K. Polk, and everything like that. But yeah, that's the new campaign trail. I will probably do another video of this sometime soon. Um, that will be about 1860. So I'll see you guys when that video comes out. If you liked the video, press the like button, subscribe, and if you know somebody that you think might like it, feel free to share it. But yeah, thank you and have a wonderful day.